So the company Boult recently sent us their Boult Space Wireless Bluetooth earphones for review, and since these were exclusively available on Myntra, I was excited to test them out, given the price factor into consideration. Alright, without wasting much more time, let's just jump into it. So folks, I'm Pratik and you're watching the Boult Space review with the inclusion of the not so usual unboxing on the nextthinkerz channel. So let's begin. First things first, let's get rid of the plastic cover. Once that's done, let's have an overview of the box before we dive inside. The right side of the box displays a couple of things, starting with that the earphones has a magnetic clutch support, volume controls with an inbuilt mic, auto reconnect feature, ear loop ear hooks, and the information regarding the supported devices along with the warranty information. On the back there are fine-tuned details such as the model number, color variant, pricing and the date of import. By the way, don't get yourselves confused with the pricing as it's mentioned Rs 4,799 on the box, as the actual cost is quite low, which is Rs 1,375. These same earphones also come in black, grey and red variants. We have got ourselves a gold one. On the left it's quoted, "Unplug yourselves." Well, I'll leave that for my final verdict. Now let's just dive deep inside the box contents. To be honest, the unboxing experience doesn't feel premium as it's merely a cardboard box which has a small pouch inside housing all the contents. Beneath the pouch lies some cards which have the warranty information, which clearly depicts that the user should contact to the Boult team itself instead of Myntra in case of any problems. The second paperwork is the manual for the setup instructions from the get-go, which even gives you a QR code, hereby redirecting you to a YouTube video. Apart from that, you can just pause here to read all the information as it's all the basic stuff written. Let's get back to the pouch, which is again pretty average, made up of some kind of nylon cloth. Inside lies the micro USB cable for charging, which is pretty average again. It gets followed by the extra ear tips depending upon your preference for a solid fit. While lastly we have the Boult Space earphones nice and tight. Firstly, these are magnetic clutch supported center units, followed by the inline mic with volume controls, and from here you can also make out where the charging port lies. Though that micro USB 2.0 flap is having some sort of issue sticking in inside properly at the moment. I don't know if that's the case with my unit itself. You can press and hold the center button to turn these earphones on, upon which you can pair them with your phone right away. Next thing is this hook, which keeps the excess wire part organized while it's dangling out of nowhere. Pretty thoughtful and useful as it did help me out during my morning workout regimes. Also, if you want, you can easily detach it from the earphones as there is no rocket science here. So the initial impressions of the Boult Audio Space earphones are pretty good. However, the thing that I'm currently noticing is that these earphones are pretty lightweight. Though I'll soon discuss that why this might be an issue. Alright, now here's what you need to know about these earphones after my extensive usage of more than 1.5 months. I've been using these earphones for my daily running activities and there's essentially a lot that I'll point out soon as we move ahead. Starting with the design. The magnetic joints might be a quirky way to start talking about the design of these earphones, but it's actually the only part about them which might be fancy, as the entire earphone from the top to the bottom is made out of plastic. This again in turn makes them lightweight, however it's kinda low in terms of aesthetics. The earphone hooks are nicely placed as they indeed provide a good grip, while placed in your earphones as they don't tend to fall out even during running. And mind you, I'm a serious runner, as a result of which, in terms of good design perspective, these earphones do a good job of staying inside their positions when tucked in. However, I did notice that when you're not using these earphones and have the magnets clutch or connect and then tend to run simultaneously, then the earphones don't stay in one place and tend to bounce, whereas the magnetic parts separate. This also concludes that the magnets on the Boult Space earphones aren't that strong, which is a disappointment. Also, the charging flap happened to got removed on its own within mere days of usage. This doesn't contain any rigorous or rough usage patterns, so it concerns me that the users might face issues with this, as the charging port might be affected if the sweat perforates inside or causes any damage in turn. Although the company does claim that these earphones are IPX4 water and sweat proof, but without the flap? I doubt that. Well, so the earphones are not that good looking, however do a good job of staying on the lightweight side, making it comfortable for longer periods of usage and thus sacrifice a robust look due to the inclusion of plastic all over the body. Audio ergonomics. So the Boult Space earphones provided me a pretty mixed feedback, which is not quite satisfactory as I'm a bass heavy person. The earphones are definitely good for long sessions since the mids and highs are decently good enough. However, the bass part, it's just terrible. So if you're a bass heavy person, just strike this one out from your mind. These earphones also do a decent job of passive noise isolation, which is as claimed by the company. Although it's not groundbreaking, as it just depends on how properly the earphones are tucked into your ears. Also, on the other hand, generally I like to test the earphones audio output in the default audio preset because that's how you get to know how well the inbuilt audio drivers respond. Yes, for sure you can make some adjustments in the equalizer presets to make the sound better, but at the end of the day, what it has is what it's going to produce. However, there's this one issue that I observed during my runs is that sometimes there was an audio breakage, meaning whenever I was running, I used to keep my phone in my joggers, and while doing those runs, I observed frequent audio drops, which was kind of irritating looking at the fact that the company claims that how strong is their 8 meters range, and the drivers are equipped with Qualcomm's CSR8635 chipset. Although by no means did the earphones disconnected, as I only observed audio breaking issues when I kept my phone in my joggers. Alternatively, you can long press and hold the center button, which will then activate Google Assistant or Siri depending upon your device. While as we are here onto that inbuilt microphone, I did face issues while I was on calls. Most of the times the person in front wasn't able to hear what I was saying, upon which I had to disconnect these earphones for continuing the call on my phone. Now, I've also checked few reviews about these earphones where many reviewers said that they had no issues with the call reception part. So I'm not sure whether I had received a defective unit. Next thing which I observed was that the audio track didn't pause or stop when the magnetic joints were attached. Although since it lies in the budget category, I wouldn't ask for this feature to exist as the manufacturer needs to perform some cost cutting as well, which is acceptable. Battery life. Surprisingly enough, the battery life that I got on these earphones was stunning. With mere one single charge, I was able to push through the entire week by using it for nearly 1 hour daily during my morning cardio activities. You can easily get up to 10 hours of battery backup with these earphones, which is quite impressive. Checking it out in terms of specs, it has got 100 mAh lithium-ion battery, whereas if your phone supports Bluetooth 4.1 and above, you can get the indication of the remaining battery percentage when the Boult Space is connected to your phone via Bluetooth under the settings tab or on the notifications panel. So to give a final verdict, I feel that the Boult Space earphones are quite decent considering as an entry in the wireless segment from the company's point of perspective, given the fact that these earphones just cost Rs 1375. However, I do have my own mixed reviews about these earphones, so if you're on a tight budget, you might consider this, or you can invest a bit more on either few Boult earphones or the Brainwaves BLU200 wireless ones. I'll drop some links for the alternatives in the description box below. So that's all I had to say about these earphones. If you enjoyed watching this video, definitely let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Dab on that like button, whereas also smash on that subscribe button so that we will meet again in my next video.